It's midnight in Singapore and Taipei, 7 p.m. in Doha. Welcome and thanks for joining us on News Pulse. I'm Dawn Tan. Our top story tonight, we begin in Singapore, where the air quality has crossed to hazardous levels. The Pollution Standards Index, or PSI, soared to 321 just a few hours ago. It's the worst reading in 16 years. It's fallen slightly since. The haze, which has been worsening on a daily basis since Monday, is caused by the illegal burning of forests in Indonesia to clear land for palm oil plantations. Now, Singapore's Environment Minister Vivian Balakrishnan has just spoken to the media. Our reporter Alice Chia was at the press conference and she joins us now on the line. Alice, what did Dr. Vivian say?
Dr. Vivian said that the haze situation has worsened overnight and it's the worst haze that Singapore has ever faced. He said that it was caused by dry weather conditions in the region and also because there were numerous hotspots detected over Sumatra over the past few days. And the smoke haze from the fires in Sumatra was brought over by the prevailing winds blowing from the southeast or west. Here.
Alice, this situation is unprecedented. What immediate response measures will the government be expected to take to protect the public from the pollution?
Well, the ministry has convened this emergency haze meeting, and they will be in Jakarta tomorrow on the 20th of June. This delegation to Jakarta will hope to achieve some further concrete measures. Number one, they hope to arrive at some solutions to put out the fires, and in that aspect, Singapore has made offers to assist Indonesia in this. And number two, they hope that there will be measures to stop the starting of new fires so that the haze situation can improve over time.
All right, thanks very much for that update on this developing situation. That was our reporter Alice Chia. They're reporting on the haze situation currently affecting the region. Now, the pollution is an annual occurrence and many are now asking if enough is being done to fight the haze. Diana Allen reports.
A sight and smell that's become all too familiar at this time of the year. A barely visible skyline and an acrid stench. What's become known as the haze is affecting Singapore again, and this time worse than ever. The air pollution index has climbed to an all-time high. Over the past few days, the haze conditions have worsened at night. And with that has come different sorts of discomfort, from the irritation of the eyes to higher temperatures. Now, where I'm standing here in central Singapore, you can get a sense of just how smoky conditions can get. And bad as it looks, it actually smells much worse. Smoke from forest fires on the Indonesian island of Sumatra is causing the pollution. It's a recurring problem and one that the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, tried to solve in 2002. But 11 years on, the country at the center of it all, Indonesia, has yet to ratify the agreement on transboundary haze pollution. Singapore has urged its neighbour to take action, but admits its hands are tied.
The Indonesian parliament is sovereign in its own right. It makes up its own mind, and it has decided to so far not ratify the agreement. That shows the limitations in terms of what Singapore can do. But we will continue to express our views. We will continue to do whatever is possible and within our means and sensible to do.
On its part, Indonesia says it's doing all it can to tackle the problem, despite its position on the 2002 treaty.
With or without our ratification, we have been, as a matter of fact, essentially in full compliance with what is required and expected of the transboundary haze pollution agreement. So the fact that we have not ratified it, have not created like a legal lacune or some kind of bottleneck. On the contrary, as a matter of state practice, countries in ASEAN have been working hand in hand in addressing the forest fire.
The haze has so far been limited to Singapore, Malaysia and Indonesia. But with pollution indices hitting record highs, the problem could spread in the coming days.
Now, earlier we spoke to Jose Raymond from the Singapore Environment Council, and he considers ASEAN's role in combating the region's hazy situation and whether sanctions on errant member nations will help.
I think ASEAN is a very friendly bloc. I mean, I don't think it's plausible for countries to kind of push each other to have some kind of, as an ASEAN body, to have sanctions on individual countries in the region. I think each country has their own laws which protect their people. What could possibly be a discussion point would be how Indonesia or even any other countries which are involved can help each other to ensure that these laws are strictly adhered to. Perhaps that's the pressing point. I mean, there are laws in Indonesia which prevent such slashing and burning, but perhaps it's the surveillance which is a problem. Perhaps Indonesia does not have enough people on the ground to ensure that there is enough surveillance to prevent such irresponsible behavior by landowners.
And just a quick update, the PSI index is currently at 218, that's 218. To follow the latest developments on the haze, you can log on to www.channelnewsasia.com/hazewatch. On the website, you'll also find picture and video features and a special timeline charting the haze. Afghan President Hamid Karzai has said his government will boycott US peace talks with the Taliban as long as the process is not Afghan-led. Now, this comes amid a row over the name given to the new Taliban office in Qatar to facilitate peace negotiations. A US delegation has